Go over here and
Hello.
announce it.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Alright, let me get my notes. I'm not gonna have the editor to fucking write anything new.
Let me get my notes.
Let me get.
Let me
It's
get my
just the
notes.
alphabet over and over again.
His
And
eyes
it
are.
actually is just in order, every letter, and then it just starts over.
Yeah.
Meticulously just typing away, no mistakes.
All right. So where we left off last time, you had all had a meeting with the council of the Elderwood and managed to make some demands of them that will be fulfilled. And decided to find yourself lodging in the lower part underneath the city, where the animal capital has taken its roots down for now. In that zone, you had just been approached by lady of the council. Can you remind me? Is her name Wolfbane?
Art Wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane.
Wolfsbane. I felt like it might have been, but there's part of me that was afraid that it was Wolf's something else, and I would look like a fool who doesn't know his own characters. But Art has approached you.
Bless you.
And I guess first, I need your names. I don't actually have. I assume that we're not actually running any battles, so I didn't have my version of the Toon campaign open, only the one that we might need for stream. Give me like 2 seconds.
Dude, Llewellyn could pop off at any moment. He
Art
could
Llewellyn
become
shows up.
a DMPC and like retire as one of the counselors.
Oh yeah, I should actually run. We might need music, so I will open the material deck.
Yeah, as someone with tinnitus, I would appreciate.
Um, just she looks at you first, Nico, and says, "You can keep the necklace, by the way."
Hell yeah. Thank you.
I only say that because you know that if you had invoked your father's name, it would have done basically the same thing for that council. Nepotism runs deep here.
Well, that's good to keep in mind.
I've come down here to ask
Where did you put in your
one
notes?
thing and tell you another.
Okay.
Which do you want first?
You're going to die tonight.
How do you want to die
I
tonight?
would like to be told something first.
I appreciate haven't informed about what happened, brother.
Who the
Oh,
what
yeah.
do you who now?
Yeah,
The
I mean, I basically
Rock.
forgot
Oh, no,
about that
yeah,
until
I
you
remember.
just said it.
It was very
It's
tempting
the egg,
to
right?
try and take him down a peg with that
Oh.
information.
Are we all in the same space? I thought we were in
We're
our
all
tent.
here together.
You,
Our tents are like super close. And
yeah, you've been.
like the animal president has basically just shown up.
Yeah.
Okay.
The president showed up to Greenland, and they actually showed up for him.
You guys are the entirety. Uh, it would have taken him down a peg, but then it would have started a conflict that I don't necessarily think is good at this exact moment. I saw in some of your reactions things he said that you sympathize with the plight of people like my. And as somebody who similarly wants the best for them, I was going to ask, what is it you plan to do after you leave here?
I don't have any concrete plans.
Anyone else?
You all still have a mind link, by the way. So if you have anything you need to say secretly, you can do that.
I mean, I'm with Llewellyn. I was gonna just like check out the world, but it seems like the world is kind of in jeopardy at the moment.
Is that you as a
That is
Jin?
mind link. Mind
Okay.
link.
And I'm like, why do you believe the world is in jeopardy?
Well, because our village got attacked, and apparently there's some sort of conspiracy going on.
I'm not sure if that means the world's in jeopardy. It's
My
certainly
pet
fucking
is
annoying.
Jesus.
Sometimes a village gets burned down and then the world spins on, you know?
Yeah. So also, sometimes you just find Jesus.
To be fair, all the
Also, I
details.
don't
about-
know if he's
there's
domesticated
some
enough to
weird
be called a pet.
government
still
experiment
a
going
wild animal.
on that
There's a
you're
lot
all a
of-
part
He's
of, and
definitely
I'm not
not an
because I
animal.
didn't check the computer.
It's definitely a lot of funky stuff going on that would, in fact, put the world in
Junior
danger.
is absolutely an animal.
All I'm gonna say is it does not seem
It's-
like a sound decision to just go back to normal as if
Look,
nothing happened.
There,
Oh,
whatever the subcategory is for Junior, it is not a normal animal.
I said
He might
an
be, like-
animal. I did not say a normal animal.
Technically, you're all animals. That
Yeah, Junior is like a spirit beast or something.
A
Like,
divine animal.
I'm a
Yeah.
mushroom.
I just want to point out you're trying to debate with the one person who literally has animal magic over what specifically he actually is.
technically speaking, with the right combination of magic, you could turn into him. It is possible.
Sick.
That'd be hard though.
The combination does exist, such that you could become such a beast.
It's a password you have to figure out.
Baba Booey.
Baba Booey.
Bazinga. Out loud, Liam Moore will say, frankly, I'm thinking about just finding my family again. They're just kind of like they're out there somewhere, and I really need to find them right now because I have some questions.
Do you have
That I
any
need
idea where they
answered
may
from
have
them.
went? Also, I realized, how am I this character?
We
I'm
just stare
just
at
the
the
GM.
counselor like they're hallucinating.
I'm the GM character. The second, Rise.
The drone strike.
There we go. I guess I'll share this with you so that you guys can also get
Yeah.
Hell
the
yeah.
desire to see what the scene is on.
By the way,
I
Ninja,
was already seeing that on stream.
I fucking suck, Ninja. What was the names of my mother?
Mama.
You think I have notes on that?
Yes.
Check your notes.
I
I'm
did
gonna-
not write that
I'm gonna
down.
be honest to God with you. If you haven't named your parents, I sure the fuck haven't.
Well, I'm sure we came to an agreement, and then I guess neither of us wrote it down.
I think there's a lot of assumptions on us coming to. You could tell me their names are Batman and Robin, and
You are the
probably couldn't
DM.
have
I would
stopped you.
assume you make a secondary note of people, like characters.
I make notes of characters that you do not tell me exist. If you
Oh,
tell
well,
me
you
a
get a
character
new one
exists,
now. You can name them again.
Oh my god. Okay.
your backstory and characters connected to you are your own.
Okay, that's not the point. Whatever.
You have a parent. Come up with their name.
Oh my god.
Do you know their name?
That would be
Does
fucking whack if I didn't.
I just called
Liam always call him mom and dad.
I just called them you over there.
Mr. and Mrs. uh
They're the not me people.
God, I can't think of a female name on the top of my head.
Name a woman.
I mean, you don't need to A, tell us right now, and B, come up with it right now.
You can just relay the name and we'll establish what it was later.
Alright, well, I'll just say the names, but they both ended more to her.
Thanks. I assumed that part, you know.
But they just literally just said, and I agreed, and we're moving on, and I'll just write them out while we move forward. There.
Okay.
Aaron and Arena Moore. There you go. I just came up with it.
Arena. They married clothes.
Well,
I'm
you know, they're
surprised you
related
didn't.
over that.
I'm surprised you didn't go with Aaron
Sabrina.
and Aaron.
No, that was a bit too on the nose.
So you mentioned their names.
Yeah, she asked.
Yes, if you knew where they were going.
I thought she asked, like...
Do you know
what
your
their names
mother's
were.
name?
What is your mother's
No.
maiden name?
No, I thought that
Social
you asked...
security number, please.
I thought you asked what their names were. My mistake.
Nah, but do you have an idea where they were going?
Okay, yeah, then I misheard. That whole thing was pointless. Honestly, I have no idea where they would go.
I mean, they might have gone south.
What makes you say that?
Your mother's tuning.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, conveniently, that lies in what I was going to ask of you if you didn't have a plan. I have
And
a
that would
package
be?
that needs to be delivered to my brother. And you have some amount of benefit to gain by going there anyway. Collected a fair number of favors, it seems. I do have another further question. Where did that come from? And she points at Junior.
Oh,
We found him?
we found
my
him in
friend.
the woods.
We've got like a thing going.
You just found it in the woods and it's tagging along with you?
Well,
Well, technically, it was cave.
it was.
It's
It
my
probably some
brother.
sort of
My
animal.
brother and he's
he
cursed to
was-
look like this.
He was injured. We treated him. He's here now.
We found my brother in the woods.
I think it's best to not lie about your brother being cursed into being an animal. To somebody who can
Oh, yeah.
tell a real animal from a fake one. There are
You just see
signals-
Well, he's not-
Llewellyn shaking his head.
Well, at least my brother's not stuck in an egg.
Mine's not either, is he?
And it
Thanks
wasn't
to
an
who?
egg. Me? Well, I mean, well, a bunch of us, but like I've. It's like
Yeah,
a
okay,
brood
Rock
pepper.
Man.
It was absolutely an egg.
Was it an egg or was it a rock-like egg?
It was a rock-like
or an
egg.
egg-like rock?
It was a phoenix egg.
Yes. People without proper knowledge referred to it as a rock. It,
the animal guy is like, no, that was an egg.
yeah. He was a bird person.
This conversation is so dumb.
So, is there anything else you would have us do besides deliver this letter, Councilwoman?
Where is she telling us to go?
The energy capital.
To the Energy Kingdom.
Well,
Which lines up
Why?
with me. Because we're delivering something to her brother.
She had something to be delivered to her brother.
Yeah.
listen,
Look,
okay, I'm
you-
not fully awake.
Yeah.
All of you can now just see Llewellyn like.
No,
actively
that
trying
was-
Not to...
No, that was him, the person, asking a question because he is tired.
No, no,
Yeah.
no.
What's the
It's,
story
it's
with
not
your
just
brother being
that.
so far away?
We're nearing the
Everybody.
Kuzan burst of trying to deliver a package. They're like, why are we going?
Why do
What?
you want us to deliver this package?
I need somebody to do it. You seem to be without a real mission.
Also, this is going to the energy capital, and most people here are biased against them. Considering
Oh,
what
okay.
we've done, we're clearly not.
I would also like to look for my parents, as Llewellyn pointed out.
Yes,
You're
we're
not the
also-
only one who wants to find their parents.
Well, yeah.
Since my dad's kind of important to the people here, is there like any concern about where he is? This is a question for the counselor lady.
You're like, it would depend on who you really ask. He's
I'm asking you.
a retired councilman. Like, we're not gonna send out a whole search party if that's what you're wondering. If
Are you
have an
gonna send
idea-
out a guy?
Do you have an idea where he might have gone? Are
Nope.
we just sending a guy in a random direction? Like,
I mean, that would be a funny prank.
Go north and just keep going north.
like we're a group of hunters. We know when we're chasing prey that won't be found.
Yeah, but you're the council, and you could probably get one of the plant people who wouldn't know to do it.
I
See,
I
that would be
like-
funny.
see. I look at Llewellyn and like Maiko. I like kind of snap a little bit with like, look, okay, if he wants to know where his dad is, that's reasonable. If you can find people, look, I don't know where the tunnels exited out, but are people evacuated somewhere? Find someone who's good at tracking people or smelling people. I don't know how you people find anything, but it shouldn't be hard to find, or at least follow a trail. If you lose them, you lose them.
All right.
You can at least put an effort in.
In turn for you doing this for
And
me,
Llewellyn, fucking, some of us actually wanted to go back home. Okay?
Yes.
I can send out a group to the village and try to find where the tunnels ended up. The issue is we don't know where the tunnels go, so if they're blocked, it's going to be hard to find their exit point to start tracking. But I will send out a group, some of my best.
Hey, since
Someone
I
turn into a mole? I don't know.
I was gonna. So I have a question for you, Ninja, because I've reviewed like all the files. Were there maps of those tunnels?
Not in the database, no.
Okay.
All of to frame this, right? Town is a tool. All of the files there relate to the experiment and people who were doing the experimenting. The town is kind of like, that's just where things were happening, so they didn't really care.
Damn.
Fair enough.
I can be reasonably confident that I can find some information, but it could take up several weeks.
Well, that sounds like it should be more than enough time for us to deliver this letter for you and you to have answers when we return.
That would work for me.
But I can't speak for the rest of the group.
I suppose I've got nothing else to do.
That's the spirit.
Exactly what you want from anyone running errands for you. Complete apathy.
Mhm. I mean, I guess it sounds like the most reasonable lead. So,
It's a direction to go.
Yes.
so yeah, we're doing it.
She hands you like a small parcel that also has a letter on top.
I feel like we've reached this specific spot where
I moved to open the
every-
letter.
right in front of her.
Yep.
I moved to stop you.
Just like your hand on mine, like slowly shaking your head.
I meant to like not in front of the council. Honestly, probably not at all.
I don't open the letter.
I mean, there's nothing stopping you from asking her what it says. I say,
Hey,
I
That's
say
you
less
your
nothing.
fun.
brother.
This is
You have a
true.
crush.
It just says hi. That's all that the letter says.
Hi, I'm sending you these kids.
You open the parcel. It's just a bomb. You don't know why.
We explode.
It's a pipe bomb.
Party dead. On a scale, like I asked the lady, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is this? Like for, not just for you, but for general society, that this message gets delivered in a timely manner.
I would say it's important enough that I asked somebody to do it, but not enough that I asked only my closest advisor to, so somewhere in that range?
Okay.
A solid 6, maybe?
She
7?
wants it done, but like, it's important to her.
The fate of
It's
the
neat-
world doesn't
you
rely
know.
on it.
Like, this is just an everyday week occurrence for me.
Well, okay. Did we sleep already? Did we just wake up?
I don't think we did because I haven't reset my thing.
I'm
Well-
willing to leave and let you have your rest. Do you have any questions before I go? Okay then.
I feel like
no.
This is
You-
what I'm talking
you
about.
found-
Our group has the most fantastic power of just not responding to shit. We're just
We just
staring.
all
I-
turn and stare blankly at.
That is our cute. That is
I'm-
our party dynamic. It's just staring.
I was
at
literally
people.
about to say something.
What were you gonna say?
I know, but the amount of silence that always manages to exist. So Ninja, like sometimes just have to be like. So anyway.
I mean, like, I'm sorry, my lady. We have just come off the back of potentially losing multiple people that we've known. I'm sorry if we're not as like sprightly with our answers. We'll
What?
get this done.
I don't worry about that. And again, he owes you. Like, he knows who you are, and knows his position now is only due to what you have done.
Can we have a wagon? And like, I don't want to walk, if possible.
Can we have a wagon that we can put our horses in while we're riding them?
I mean, like, I'm now asking for like some kind, like, horse. I'm asking for like horses, basically.
No, dude, dude, I just found the.
Can I
funniest
ride
mental
on
image.
Junior?
Yes.
Just a giant
Hell
wagon
yeah.
where you can place your
Honestly,
horses, and
at
then a
least two
cow
of you
drags the
can.
wagon.
Okay,
I remind you,
who wants to
Junior-
share Junior with me?
Junior is 10 to 15 feet tall. Like, he's like, take a horse and stretch it. Like, two people can
Like,
ride a
that
horse.
size?
Scale tool a horse?
Junior is a beast.
Yes.
I'm gonna be right back.
Correct.
Go be
I
right
realized that I said a very obvious thing when I was trying to make it. a
Those horses
different
are
comment.
like beasts.
Before Wolfsbane leaves, I'll just.
I mean, she didn't even respond to my question.
What was your question?
I literally
request
asked
for horses.
Oh, yeah.
Or
and
like
a wagon.
transportation aid.
She,
Yeah.
she says that can be arranged. I can see what we have. You'll be going into the desert, so horses won't really do. So
Camels.
something like
Can camels survive the forest environment until they get to the desert?
I mean, yeah.
I
Camel can be
don't
launched
think
into
they would
space and
have
it's-
anything available that can't survive a forest environment, given that's where we are.
Well, I'm saying transitioning from forest into desert.
Yeah.
Camels are highly
Camels-
adaptive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Camels live in in Amish country in America. Like, don't worry about camels.
Okay.
Yeah.
Miss
But
Wolfbane.
Maybe we'll get weird magic-y animals like bush deer. Or I just said bush deer because that, you know, we've only made one fantasy animal.
But that's
But, you know.
Junior.
No, bush
Junior-
babies.
Junior's technically a bush deer.
Yeah.
Bush
Ah,
babies are
you're
bush
right.
squirrels.
Yeah. I think we should
Come back.
continue the name with just naming all of them local object, and then animal.
I know, it's a rock falcon. It
You know, the
shoots lightning
sequence
from
is
its
called
eyes.
Bushwind.
Why did we
Sorry,
not
say
call
again,
them?
lag.
So you know the sandworms, those are called bushworms now.
You're the
what
only
would-
one who knows about the sandworms.
So great.
Good that you do. You're one step ahead.
I mean, I feel like I probably know about the sandworms. Considering I
heard
went
about it.
there and I'm Animalton. Like, I don't necessarily know a ton about them.
You haven't
I'm
had
an
a
animal.
one-on-one interaction with a sandworm.
Yeah, no. I would just presumably know that they exist.
Yeah.
A bear in Antarctica would know what a fucking would know what a fucking lemur is on sight.
Meanwhile, it's just like,
You're going down.
all right.
Get
So,
over it.
some kind of transport.
Yes, that will be.
Oh,
provided.
and a map. Map would be appreciated.
Get you one that shows these lands, but don't exactly explore much further south.
Then we'll
That
at
will
least
at
need a
least-
heading.
And that will at least stop us from getting horribly lost before we're expected to get lost.
A compass would be much appreciated.
The cart will be supplied with all of the things you will.
All right. That's all I can think of.
So are we in the middle of an evening right now?
You had a
Or the
question,
next day.
didn't you?
No, I'm asking, which is why I'm just prefacing
It's
what
kind of
period of time. Okay, so we would probably rest now and then travel tomorrow. Okay. Miss Wolfbane, if I could talk to you privately a little later today before I go to sleep, I would appreciate it. I have some questions about some things.
I like
would
how
prefer
her
to keep it
smile
a
is
private.
so bright whenever she stops talking. It just makes her look like she is. She's in a.
I'm the
toothpaste
Joker,
commercial.
baby.
Glowing.
Yeah, you can turn
She
into
seems
the Joker. The Joker's an animal.
She seems like a cool person you would hang out with.
All right. So she heads off. I guess you'll find her later.
Yeah.
I'm going to sleep. In fiction.
Want to have any things you're gonna do before that?
I'm intending to trail Liam.
Are we rolling that or?
I'm
Do you
going to
tell him
become
that,
a
or do
bird.
you?
No, I'm.
No, obviously he doesn't tell me, but I'm asking if
I'm
we are
gonna
rolling
follow
for
you,
me.
Liam.
Yeah, like, do we roll
Sneaking
for me
mission.
being able to notice it?
That's how
Yeah, I
that
mean, you could
works.
like a
Yep, so I'm
bodyguard.
gonna be
person.
using animal powers to help me disguise.
I guess that's
Yes, sure you can.
12 on my
Yes.
part. For aware, D12 for aware.
Yeah, you can roll aware. I guess I have to switch over to the scene that has dice rolling on it.
But see, James, that's a
This is
suggestion.
always the weird thing in like D&D situations or like other RPG situations where it's like, damn, I polymorph into a spider the size of a thumb. And I'm gonna slowly over the next hour creep in and is like, I mean, do I set a roll or
Oh no, I'm. Okay.
Are you staying a lion for this?
No,
no?
I am.
He said he's turning into a bird.
Okay.
Fucking turns into a lion,
Yeah,
follows
no.
Liam,
A real sneaky
and
lion.
the camp doesn't care because it's a camp of animal like people.
I mean,
And
they probably.
I'm gonna
would be.
use an insight token just because I can make. I assumed it was agility. Was that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the agility explode. Just because you
He's
gotta
getting
take the
better at
opportunity.
agility.
Okay. Yeah. So you wouldn't notice him.
All right.
But would she notice a weird bird?
Is she being tailed? I guess as she might roll it aware as you guys start talking.
But anyway, the only thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to maintain a magic being active as I fall asleep. Because I wanna try to see if I can link my dream with
The rest of the party.
probably not, because it seems harder. So just Miko.
I will make a note that I am separating like myself from all that psychic shit while I'm gone.
Oh, that shit dropped. After we got done with all our stuff, I imagine it got like taxing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would like to try to like I want to try to like link dreams with Miko and like see if I can
What the
go
fuck?
over to his dream.
That seems like an invasion of privacy, but
Well,
I
you
guess
have
I
no
don't get a
idea.
say in it.
You do. If you're gonna resist it, you can.
I mean, how would I resist this if I didn't know it was happening?
Because
But
Do
it's just a
people
thing
get
I'm
to
doing as I'm
resist Freddy
sleeping.
Krueger?
inherently I said you can. Otherwise, like, mind magic is overpowered in this universe, and somebody's gonna just turn your brain off without you knowing that they were about to do that.
Yeah, no, like mind magic needs auto resistance. Otherwise, it's just be a mind mage and just turn somebody's
So
brain off.
I mean, yeah, I also have mind magic, so I'm
Remember
gonna
when he
roll
tried to put me
normal
to sleep?
mind or magic mind.
You roll both
Okay.
for the resistance.
Hold on.
I am gonna. So I have. Let's see. Mind and dream.
Mm-hmm. So you would roll mind dream. That, and they will roll both minds to resist.
Okay.
Fuck.
This 7.
Alright, let's see.
Cool.
Yeah, sure, I'll explode my mind.
Alex.
I've already exploded other minds.
Be-
Why not my
because I want to. You are never not incentivized to increment your dice.
Well,
This is the system you made.
Except, for storytelling reasons, you could be like, I'm not going to use extra resources on an attack onto my friends.
What do you
It's
mean
not
an
an
attack?
attack.
They
Or-
have said
This
that
is
this
a
is
social
invasion-
attack.
This is an
Our
invasion of
social link
privacy.
will go down from this.
Like, you would push against the fact that they are actively mentally resisting this happening. You would know that.
I don't. Okay, I don't. Okay, first off, I don't know that. You just said everyone gets like every time I've done. Okay.
Similarly to how they could choose
I
to
don't
fail.
even know what I'm dreaming about. What do you get to know what I'm dreaming about?
I'm just saying, there is a, like, as a power gamer, there is no incentive not to, but as, like, a there are storytelling reasons to fail in any system. Like, would you push through, or would you fall back? And if you say that you would push through, I can't fault you. You just explode the dice, and you would go on, and then you succeed in invading the dream space.
And so specifically what I am trying to do is I am trying to, as a person, I am trying to like disconnect myself from my sleeping body.
Mm-hmm.
That is just what I am trying to do. Just to see if I can do it in the act of falling asleep.
To enter my dream.
You're the only person who's not
I'm the only person on Earth that's asleep.
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
the only
camp
person-
currently, yes.
Yeah, in camp, yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Everyone
I'm
else is doing
saying is,
shit.
if you
This
you
is
can succeed
creepy.
at doing this, that's fine by me. I will just tell you right now, I don't think Miko will be like very cool with you showing up in his dream.
Okay. So I succeed. What does detaching myself from my brain like as I'm
You
fading
die
into sleep
instantly.
and I feel like my connection to this other space, what does this even feel like?
So it feels sort of like, in dreams you feel weightless, right? There's nothing to like, there's no forces that interact with you, right? So you entered a dreaming space and then have chosen to move out of yours into another, right?
So what is the space between like is that just like I pushed up against like the what my brain recognized as the barrier, the edge of my dream, and like I in the distance felt
I
a
would say
familiar
that like
mind?
you innately sort of have a series of threads that connect you, however lightly or majorly, to different people, right? Like, and you basically are just like, as you're losing that consciousness, can still feel the tethers between the mind of those around you, and sort of are just moving along one of those lines into the space that contains the other persons.
So what I would say is before I fully like intrude on his dream, do I like can I imagine I like come to the outside of what he described his mind palace?
Mm-hmm.
Because that's like your like fortress basically, right? That's
My
what you
dank
push against.
cave.
I would actually say that your dreaming self, and like, I feel like that is less of like, the way I see it, there's probably layers to mind in this, and there's like the outer layer is your conscious mind, the mind that's most accessible, right? And that is sort of that is the inner layer, like to
Okay, so
dive as
that would-
deep as possible. Like dream space is weird, and the boundary you would see is whatever the like bubble that contains the logic of dream space in this specific dream is.
Okay. So a large portion of what I wanted to do was to even just get this far.
Mm-hmm.
I like touch upon the barrier and I just want to like whisper into it.
Okay, so I know you didn't say that you knew what the dream was, but what dream is Miko having right now? It can be as strange or as normal as you want it to be.
I go to bed because I do not wish to interact with things right now. Oh God, is that a player wanting to interact with me right now?
Is that a player invading my dreamscape,
Yeah.
forcing me to invent a fucking dreamscape? Okay, I have a
Inception.
dream that is a reoccurring dream that I have where my fucking antlers keep growing into an actual fucking tree and I become the roots unable to move but in the dream, I'm kind of chill about it.
But it's okay, yeah, so it's an okay becoming the roots. I get that, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a
All right.
oneness kind of thing.
What do
He's just
you
a chill
whisper
guy.
into the bubble?
Hey, Miko,
Me? Oh, no,
can you
yeah.
can you hear me?
So you
It-
are halfway through the, becoming one with the tree, right?
Yeah.
Tree extends from you, and in that, you just hear Teddy's voice come through, asking if you can hear him, and this puts you into a consciousness that, like, you are aware that this, like, you've been in this dream before, and thus you are now aware this is a dream, and you can change it, but you do know Teddy is speaking to you. You are lucid dreaming.
Nico is just a chill guy.
I'm. Can I just like mind blast out the feeling of confusion, because this is, as I've stated, a reoccurring dream, and
Yes.
so far he has never been a part of it.
Yes. You can, in fact, do that. Roll mind magic. And technically, you similarly have that feeling of, like, threads between, and the place that you would know, like, for some reason,
I'm
You-
very
Oh
close.
my god.
you can judge both the position of Teddy's mind and Teddy's consciousness, and they are not in the same place along the thread.
Well, I rolled a crit fail, so I don't know shit about shit.
You can re-roll since we're going to bed.
Yeah, technically.
I don't roll a whole
Well,
lot
first off,
better,
I'm taking an
but-
insight token.
but it's enough to not get wounded.
Yeah, you sense a confusion, like it comes to you.
Teddy doesn't sense anything. He can just see me like scrunch up my face, like, what the fuck?
The tree branches like.
The tree shrugs. You're like, I don't know what that means.
I don't know what is going on?
I'm a dream, I guess.
Never mind. Have a nice dream.
What the fuck do you mean? Never mind. Where the fuck are you here?
We're fine.
I'll find.
Fuck, Teddy going into my dream, seeing what's going on, like, what the fuck is
Not
this?
really influencing anything.
Nice privacy you
Refuse
got
to
here.
elaborate.
Yeah.
Leave.
I don't even know if I saw anything. I mostly like was on the outside.
Yeah, I don't
of,
think
like,
that
your
he saw
fog.
what you saw. I only had you tell me what you saw based on I needed to know what would happen based on what Teddy was about to do.
Right.
And he chose a rather light interaction. All right.
Why?
You have Did you just go back to your own mind space there, Teddy?
How far is the next tether?
Leg, are you
Oh
asleep?
my fucking god.
It would be lag.
Oh my god.
Alright,
we
so
don't
we-
have
Teddy's
to do
just
that. Let's do
astral
your scene.
projecting.
I'm gonna say, let's do the scene
Yeah,
of
we
It's
jump-
not even
involving the
that.
Europeans.
It's just that you are actively just invading everyone's privacy.
Actively terrorizing the
I
sleeping.
Like, honestly, Teddy's playing. Like Teddy's so, like
Yeah, it's honestly a good thing, Lil, isn't there? Because Teddy might have gotten fucking mauled.
It-
Would've been-
why is Llewellyn's first reaction always to threaten bodily violence?
Why
Dude,
is
I think you
Teddy's
forgot
reaction-
that in Llewellyn's mind space, he is just a fucking lion.
Yeah. He is
So if you
alive.
show up,
It's just the Lion King.
it is simply kill.
If you were a lion,
Alright.
you would want them all things too. All right.
Can I interject for a second?
Yes.
Out of character, out of game. I'm very offended by this robot man in the chat that is suggesting you add animations to your game.
I was trying to get Ninja's attention about it.
Yeah, I've known this has been going on. Are they a robot?
I
Are
don't
they
know,
just a
but like, do
person?
they not see that this is animated?
It could
No,
be a
it
person.
it needs to be like actual anime. You need to
Yeah.
predict
Needs to
everything's
be
going to happen and
Netflix.
fully draw it out.
If you're still here and a real person, say strawberry. Otherwise, Lag will shoot you with a band gun.
Also, to be
Sue.
absolutely sure, how many letters R is in strawberry?
I don't know.
So
I
thank
think
you for the offer, but no.
we already have an artist.
This is already animated.
I recognize the hustle,
Respectable hustle.
but if it's an
However-
I
automated,
didn't even
if it's
do
a bot,
this.
then fuck your hustle.
If it's-
That's all I have
The
to
only
say.
thing that made me think it wasn't a bot is that they like took massive breaks between messages. Like,
Well, they're waiting for a response.
Well,
but the
sometimes
bots don't do
also
that.
Do that to
Well,
people
yeah,
human
yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Hard to say.
Anyway,
It's not uncommon for bots to just put a wait in there.
Yeah.
break over.
Break over. Yeah. So you're walking through town. Do you just make a? You didn't decide where you were meeting her. So like, how are you planning to get
Well,
there?
I was gonna maybe figure that out, but he just kind of fucked off.
Yeah.
I would assume that she has her own tent and maybe like or her own like place where she just kind of fucking chills out and hangs out, and I'll just like figure that out.
All right. So what do you pitch as the role to figure that out?
I mean, okay, like
What
let's say
method
that
are
we go
you-
back to the conversation. If I tell her I want to talk to her later, maybe she would be like, "Oh, well, meet me here."
She said that she would meet you, not where. And
Well,
then she
that's
left.
that's on her part. That's her fault then.
Yeah, you can find her.
Yeah, okay.
It's on you, man.
I'll find her. Yeah, I'll fucking find her. What's the role
Local
to
man
find her?
murdered in the fucking camp.
What would be the role
What
here?
method do you want to use?
I guess I'll go for. You know what? Just to spice it up, I could go for agility, just to like run around and fucking try and actively find her.
This ADHD child ran through every square foot of the village. He
Well, no,
was
I'm just running
Naruto
around
running the
asking
whole
people
time.
questions like.
Yeah, if you want to ask people about it, that's a social role. If you want to just like
Fuck.
generally check it, it's an aware check. Like there's
Well,
options,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, and I wanted to spice it up with a D12 agility check, but whatever, I'll do. Fuck, I'll. That's an energy. I don't give a fuck. We're going to bed.
Yeah. Are you just succeeding?
There.
All right, you got a 7.
And then I'm going to use 3 insight tokens to explode that.
Do that. Who might have stepped?
Fucking goddamn!
Sometimes, dude.
Oh my
11.
god.
She's not hiding. So, was this aware, or are you doing it socially?
It was social.
Okay. So you're like, hey, do you know where Miss Wolfsbane is? And they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, she's got the big tent on the other side of the camp.
Well, she didn't give me any directions, so I had to ask around. Have a nice day.
All right, you too. He looks kind of confused. Like everyone should know this, but he does acknowledge that you're a plant guy
I'm
and not an
new
animal
here.
guy. So like, probably just plant people weirdness, you know.
You give him a flower.
Yeah, oh yeah. I pluck a flower, give it to him.
He like looks down at it and like takes a bite of the flower.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna assume that's a nice thing.
You know, in Animal Town, everybody does the predator handshake.
What?
Yeah.
Maul it, yeah. If you know them really well, you try and maul each other as a greeting.
A really aggressive dab up.
That's
That is in fact the predator handshake. Yes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
the handshake from the movie The Predator, not not a
no.
handshake
Oh,
of
right. Sorry, no, when you say predator handshake, I was thinking of the predator itself doing a handshake, not the Arnold handshake.
Yes, the iconic
was-
time that the Predator handshook with
That's
the
why I
alien
was
in Alien
confused, 'cause-
versus Predator.
No, like I assumed it was the predator, and I was like, when the fuck did the predator ever do a handshake with anybody?
Somebody get that on film. Did you just in the new movie The Predator does the handshake that Arnold did?
With the
Yeah.
alien as they
They're-
kill Arnold.
They're making a new show, I believe. They
They
should totally have
always-
the predator
they always
dab up a
fuck-
samurai.
They fucking always are, dude. Originality's dead. Yeah, so you
Yeah,
walk
dude.
past the massive bonfire with people dancing by it. Tons of people like smoking and grilling different meats. And you eventually make it to like a large tent that has sort of very fancy like blue and red and gold just like sort of paint across all of the tent.
Hmm.
And there are two guards standing out front.
Hello. I'm looking to seek an audience with Miss Wolfbane. I asked her if we could meet, and she agreed.
Name?
Liam Moore of the Plant People.
Let's. I think I remember. So they like whisper back and forth. They don't have a physical list that they're checking. They seem to just do this by memory, and they're not that good. At it. All right, where you lay you in, Liam? You better not do anything.
Thank you, and I'll give them both 3 flowers each.
They eat each other's flowers.
They
That is
they
a
don't
very-
even. They
Where
don't
are
even.
you pulling these flowers from?
From my back.
Like from your body?
Yes.
Yeah, he
Alright.
grows them.
Who else?
Fucking weirdo.
Okay, Antler.
Well, I don't hand out like fingernails to people.
Yeah, but if fingernails
It's
were flowers, would you? Feels like a kind of
Tomorrow,
like.
Micah wakes up with his fingernails turning into flower beds, and he's like, "Fuck, I've
Ah,
put too many
shit.
points in plant."
Not this again.
Wake up, you're flowy.
And you walk in to sort of sitting behind a table covered in like meat and things, sort of on a chair made of connected bones of different like big creatures lounging back in it, sort of.
Like
Oh,
in
yes.
that like laid back like royalty pose that they do where they have one arm on their
Not
chin
quite
or whatever.
full royalty pose, but like relaxed and like definitely does not see you as a threat. knows that if
Okay.
things were to go to blows, you're not making it out. Just sort of a confidence, you know?
Sure. I'm glad that she immediately like decided to fucking consider whether or not she could
Their
kill
whole
me.
society is built on whether or not people could, like, you got to remember, one way to gain a
Yeah,
position
yeah,
of
yeah.
power on the council is to beat whoever's in charge, and she's in charge. Anytime someone needs to walk in the room, and somebody walks in the room, she needs to know if she can fight that person.
Yeah, okay. It would be very funny if a plant person beat the leader of the animal people suddenly. That would certainly spice things up politically, I'm sure.
Yeah. Most plant people don't feel the need to get into the minutia of of the animal kingdom's political
Yeah,
structures.
yeah. It would be very funny.
Yeah, the problem with that is that while you're a plant person, you've taken an animal seat on the council, so now you gotta come deal with people fighting you for it.
Yes, because the seat would still stand that way.
Well, let's be honest. If I had the highest position of the animals and I was a plant person, the plant people would probably be like, "Hey, yo, dude, what's up, man? You wanna do some political corruptness with us?" Now, when you have
You
the
want to do
animal
some political
seat,
corruption? They already have a one-person lead. If they wanted to, if they work together, they could pass anything
yeah,
they
but
want.
like I would be the other big leader because there's two big
As a
leaders, right?
child of a former plant counselor, I resent the idea that we're corrupt.
As a person who saw the guy we met, you're
Well,
free to
he's
feel that way.
different.
He's not corrupt. He's an
Well,
asshole.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
I
continue.
don't-
He's a racist and an asshole. That's very different
all
than
right,
being
all
corrupt.
right. Yeah.
She's probably also corrupt, though.
So, what brings you? So what was your stealth roll, by the way?
Llewellyn was like a
Yeah, hold on, let me scroll back up.
12?
it's like a 12.
12?
Was it?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just made it.
It's like how
You,
is
like,
Llewellyn sneaking? By the way?
Llewellyn lands on the top of the tent so that you can hear what's going on inside, and then she, like, looks at the spot and then goes, oh, nothing.
Must have been the wind.
So, what did you want to speak about all alone and not in front of your friends?
I had some questions about the
By the
Energy
way,
Kingdom.
I will say, this is a completely valid use of the side room if you feel like it's actually something you want private, except for
Yeah, I guess if
Nicholas
you
Gilder.
don't want the other players to know, we can move into the side room.
You know what? This is one of those times where I think we will
Well,
do that just for fun.
We could move to general, technically. We're inside the side.
Yeah,
we're already inside.
Why did you guys go to side room 1?
Why did you
That-
follow
I just
Uh,
meant to where Maiko was.
Yeah, Jin
Yeah.
was here. I just joined the channel and had people in.
There's a
Yeah,
second
we are
side room
just
if we want to use
followed
that.
like lemmings.
Where are we going?
I don't live by your
Force?
rules.
I'm
Right.
going to side room number 2.
We're gonna have weird dream talk. We're gonna talk about what we normally dream about in game.
Okay.
So what questions do you have?
Let me pull up my notes.
What's your social security number? It's important for my notes.
7. That's it. That's the whole number.
It's like, 1, I was the one who instated the social security system for this
I
country.
am the security system. Okay. Well, me and my friends have experienced quite a lot since our village was attacked, and I've personally learned a few things about my family, hence why I am even more than just missing them because they are my family, feeling an urgency to find them because I also need some answers. And but also, if I understand correctly, you are related to a man who transforms into a phoenix.
I've been pretty open about it. Yes.
Yes, but not in front of the council.
But then, no, he poked fun at it as an asshole.
On a side note, I thought that the dude wasn't aware because of an illusion.
He wasn't aware the guy was still alive,
Right.
but he
Sorry, yeah,
mentioned
no,
it
I need
as
to, I
the
needed to.
place where
I
your
need,
brother rests.
Yeah. Just need to double check.
Yeah. He knew that part.
How much do you know about what happened to your brother?
Most of it. Developed powers beyond what was expected to develop. They don't run in the family. Energy has a tendency to just pop up. For a few generations, he has energy powers who didn't have them before. Tends to be frowned upon in many of the societies. He was my brother. Father chased him out. Eventually, he rallied some people to reclaim some of the lands he felt he was owed. They struck him down.
So you know, uh, who killed your brother? It was your father and his band.
It was like the co-head of the council and my father. Were co-heads of the council at the time.
And they did it to reclaim land. Was there
Stop the war. Without my brother leading them, the energy people were not so keen on getting that land. They have other ways to survive that don't involve just having those farms. More of a, it's a partially symbolic victory. Jacob. They've been sent off to a desert, place that's meant to be inhospitable, a place of rejection. To have some land that people want and would fight for is to claim that they have a reason to be there.
And you are aware that he has been brought back to life because you asked us to deliver a message.
Yes, and I did it. He knew because he keeps track of such things. Does have people who visit, sneak in one at a time to get around into things.
Okay. I'm sorry, ma'am, that if my question seems random and specific. I'm very much nervous and quite confused because I myself have found out that my mother had energy related affinities that I wasn't aware of. And I recently found out, and during our adventures to get to the capital, I myself have also developed some of these powers. And I don't know how to visually do? Can I do like a small spark of lightning from my fingertip or something with
Ah,
energy?
that is a valid way to do that.
Like I
Full
don't know what.
energy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's enough for a simple spark.
And frankly, I am both very confused, curious, but also a bit afraid, both for me and my mother. A- And frankly, I don't know about my father. There are still things I'm figuring out, but going to the south seems like the right move. And uh, even if it was mostly for your own benefit, thank you for giving us this mission and allowing there to be an excuse to travel south.
Well, it is for my benefit. If it truly was not for the rest of your team's benefit, they would decide to go elsewhere. Communicate your desires to people. Don't just leave them for random people you meet. Keep your friends close.
Hmm. But more importantly, I just wanted to check with you if there's any sort of knowledge that your brother has happened to imparted on you that you perhaps could impart on me about the energy lands that isn't normally talked about or mentioned in history books or schools and stuff like that. Any additional knowledge that either just out of curiosity's sake or maybe also just for the sake of knowing the lands better, anything at all?
Well, it doesn't matter for your specific case.
I just wish to
Hey.
learn more about these people.
Life there is just as, you know, interesting and intense as things here. They do have a recreational combat sport. Sort of an energy, not only energy, but a magical duel of sorts. People of all over enter into sort of multiple rounds of restricted combat, nothing lethal usually. And the winner receives some great prize, if that is of interest to you. But usually people would use it for meeting with someone who have been sent to deliver a package. So, not necessary.
Hmm. So the de facto leader of the energy people is your brother currently.
For those in the know, yes. They do have another
Is it-
leader who works as the face right now. As it's not exactly best that it be known
Hmm.
that true leader is who they are.
Would you mind giving me the name of your brother and this leader? More the leader than
Yes.
anything, just so we can.
And then I'll get you those. They're in the Word document, and I don't have
Yeah,
Word
I will
on this
also need
computer.
those.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
They will go out to you both after this, and I'll
Thank you.
recap them probably whenever you meet them.
And so, and this society that we're about to enter, is it a society of people scattered about, or are they focused on a specific spot? Like, what kind of environment are we looking at?
Most of them live around the capital because there's a massive oasis there that's been sort of built up. It allows people to survive out in that desert. There are some people who, similar to, especially those who have both animal and energy powers, hunt in the lands around and bring meat back. It's one of their main forms of sustenance.
Mm.
But in terms of like major places where people live, only mostly the capital.
Okay. Okay. I I don't know if this counts as a general knowledge roll. Uh, is there a different amount of time that different people of powers or what? Like, okay, animal people, do they live longer or shorter than like others people?
Mm,
Is there like a difference between the different powers on like how long they live?
mostly no. Body people and plant people have different, can both live longer. But it tends to be specialized. It's not like anyone who has body magic lives longer. It's more intense uses of certain magics can extend life.
Okay. Because what I was thinking was, God, I don't know how to ask this. I guess I would want to ask somehow like, how long have her and her brother like been alive, and how much of energy history has they seen?
Sort of like, how old are you, and how old was he?
Yeah, no, I feel like I was hesitating on asking that. I don't know why I felt hesitant to just ask straight up. Oh, well, like, how old are you and your brother, and uh, have you seen this? Have you both seen this war firsthand? Do you know what started it? Do you know, like, what it was about? And like, what was the goal of the energy people other than just taking land?
Well, quite rude that. But I
I'm so
am
sorry.
I'm 46. And that's an interesting. If he aged normally, which I haven't seen him in what he looks like now, but he would be probably 60. I believe there was 20 some years that he was in an egg.
So, despite being a phoenix and being able to be reborn, he still ages.
That's the question. I think you would know better than I. Did he come out of the egg a child? Like, what?
Recalled he came out a full-grown phoenix, right?
Full-grown man phoenix hybrid? Yes.
Yeah. Well, we only saw the phoenix, didn't we? We didn't see the man.
No, he was partially a man.
Okay. Well, he looked older then.
No, I don't know how his magic works or what he did there, but he could probably be in his late 20s if all of the time in the egg counted, or he's probably about 60, give or take. I didn't keep track of his age.
Fair enough.
We don't count years as much as we do Great Hunt. It's sort of your child phase, and then you do a Great Hunt. You're an adult.
Okay.
And then you do Great Hunts until you can't anymore, and then you're old. So that's our system.
Yeah.
You would probably know this, right? Like, they taught that in whatever schools you had growing up.
Sorry, repeat that.
They probably taught you this in whatever schools you had growing up, right?
About the age thing of animals.
Of the animal kingdom, how they do their stuff.
Yeah. The more important question is just if they know anything about the war.
My brother started it. He was leader of it. I kind of went through this beginning. He wanted that land to prove that energy didn't deserve what they were getting. He's right in some way. Methods live up to his motive, but that's for the scholars to do.
So all he wanted to do was reclaim like non.
He wanted
I
part
don't
of
put
the
this.
great forest that we
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
take as our home.
And the people of those kingdoms were obviously not okay with that.
Correct.
What did he chase people away that might have already inhabited the area, or did he only inhabit like localized areas? You seem to.
It was a war. There were deaths. I was not. I was late teenager at the time. I wasn't fully paying attention to wartime.
Okay.
Complicated. I am the leader of these people, and his war would have taken their part of their lands from them. But also, I see him as my brother who was wrongfully blind by his own fate. How am I to say what is right and wrong in that case?
I don't wish to be presumptuous when I say this, but let's say that he did take some land, and his people, the energy people, managed to occupy some of the forest lands, like a chunk of it, not a lot. As animal people,
Yes.
as
I mean, we are very anime.
as animal people, could you truly say that any land other than the camps you make are your own? Why could you not just visit your brother in those lands even after he had occupied them? I'm not saying
We
that
did not start.
he wasn't occupying them and there was problems with the plant people, but your people?
We have agreements with the plant people. They are the ones who claim to own the forest. We live among the forest. We travel from place to place. If we overhunt an area for too long, we move on, try to let things grow, populations surge back. They're the ones who claim to own the whole forest. They say they speak for every plant, and that claim would cause some destruction to the trees and sap that have lived here for forever. And in our agreements, we had to fight alongside them.
And you're okay with, like, them owning the forest and you running around in them?
It's hard to change society, especially when people who are making the rules can literally control the trees. There are so
That's
many
fair.
plants here.
I hear you. I understand. It's a very complex situation.
If you have seen the things that my co-head of the council could do, you wouldn't be questioning these things. It's like, what would you do about it? There's not a lot. It's crazy.
I don't know, maybe it's just my young spirit, but I feel like there is definitely things you can do. Not just use strength to get your way, but other ways.
If eventually they manage to take and hold land and the claim was lifted, I would be happy to visit.
But, and again, I don't wish to put strain on your relationship with the plant people, but is it just because the forest is lush with wildlife that you find it to be an agreeable arrangement between you and the plant people, or is there some kind of ancient bond that you are abiding by that forces you to fight your own brother? Or, well, not in your case, but in your father's case,
You
fight your own
travel
son.
with the child of the thing that gifted both of our people our power. You not see the connection? Plants and animals are
I
nearly
do,
one and
but
the
I don't-
same. To cut those ties would hurt.
I just feel like the current agreement that exists might not be entirely fair. Not to you, not to the energy people. Like, they are very powerful and probably very scary, but I don't know about condemning them to a desert.
When it comes to nations, very little comes down to truly what is fair. It's decisions made by people with power. If the winds change, I will push for a world that is more in line with what I want. But with them where they are now, well, would I be but foolish to try and change something that would get
do you
all
want?
of my people killed?
And what do you want?
I too would like a world that is more fair. Now, I think it's about time that you get some sleep. You have quite a journey ahead of you.
Yeah, I suppose so. Thank you very much for allowing me to ask you all these seemingly random and probably maybe a bit personal questions, just for the sake of my own family situation. I felt that I wanted to be as straightforward with you and share what I knew myself.
Well, I appreciate your guts in coming to talk to the leader of a nation about these things. And I wish you the best of luck in hiding your ailment, lest people around you send you away like my brother. Have a good day.
Good day. And what I'll do is, so there's a fire between us, right? So I've been sitting down and she's been on her throne.
Yeah?
Is that the situation? Oh yeah. So I'll get up, and while holding my hands sort of together, I'll start growing like a what is the thing called that you make out of flowers into like a crown or whatever?
Like a wreath?
A flower crown?
A flower crown. Yeah, I guess that's just the English name for it. And I'll just like move from the fire over to her side and just kind of place it on the ground and just like give her a very like both arms to the sides bow. And then I'll leave.
Alright. And then I guess we can loop back to. I guess does Llewellyn have? Is Llewellyn gonna reveal himself at all, or is this
I was
good?
considering. Well, it's not going back to the camp immediately, but he's not revealing himself either.
Okay. So do you need to send Liam away?
No, I'm just gonna be like, checking up on a couple things around town that I'll tell you about later.
Okay.
Because I need to actually think of what the fuck they're gonna be.
We'll handle those next time then.
Yeah, or just like in between, or like tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow is literally like one day away from the next of these.
Yeah, no, because it would likely be very brief.
Okay, that's
It's fine for these to be off camera.
we're all
Oh.
here.
So they're all.
Oh,
dead,
they weren't
apparently.
here for the joke. Yeah, we're like Monk Gyatso in Avatar: The Last Airbender. We're all just desiccated husks of skeletons.
Yeah. But- That's so weird. When I moved scenes last time, it worked. What?
But when
Okay.
you moved things last time, not everyone was dead.
So the interesting thing is the thing we're using for the pictures on stream, it breaks if like I dragged myself up to this one.
Yeah, I
It's-
thought that might have been the issue.
Why is that a different thing in Discord?
That's really funny. That it is. It's just,
All right. What else? Are you invading Callum's dreams?
No, let's. I was
going
I
to
was
bed?
yeah.
All
I
right.
think I
Yeah,
play
anyways.
around in my like in the dreamscape, just kind of feeling around the in between and my own space.
Yeah.
And like try to make weird like dream constructs, but other than that, I nothing that like requires like getting too into it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So you awake and are told that you're like handed a piece of paper that like marks this is the receipt for your pickup at the gates. There's a wagon waiting for you. This is just like a random guy wearing like a boar pelt.
He gets a flower in return.
Looks at it very confused.
And bites it.
They don't all, but that was one guy.
That was 3 people.
No, one guy. The other two were also confused.
Okay.
Like they're like, the first guy's like, what's the correct answer to being handed this? I guess I'm gonna eat it.
he was hungry.
He could have just asked and I would have given him a fucking pear.
Giving him a second flower.
No, just an
No.
actual fruit.
Yeah, like I know, but like,
A
imagine.
second flower is funnier because I would just ask, "Are you hungry? Would you like something to eat?" And I just give him a second flower.
You give him a bouquet.
Yeah.
Ask him, was that enough? Second
he's like-
bouquet.
You're like, just being like handing him a flower, and then he's like, why? And then you hand him another flower.
That's why.
Yeah.
So, is there anything left that you need in this land before you head off?
We get all our energy back, right?
Yeah, your energy's back. If you heal one wound, in the the high of the lowest level wounds you have, if you still have any of those, like normal.
Oh,
None of you needed to take watch because you are in town, so everyone regained
nah,
all
we should
energy.
totally watch out for the enemy people.
And so basically what I would say is if you have nothing else, we can end it off here. If you've gotten your cart and you can set off next time.
Yes, I've already established that I have some things to do off camera, away from everyone else, but that can be covered later.
Yeah.
Callum, roll 4 dice. Just pick a dice and roll it.
4 of any dice.
Oh fuck it, let's go. We gotta roll
Oh
some
my
dice.
god, I got hiccups.
No, specifically Callum. All right. God damn it, Callum. You have a lot of D8s.
There, I picked a dice to roll.
Yeah, but
Say
Callum,
any dice.
look,
not
I
dice
said
that
I said that because Callum, he went to bed and then didn't get to do anything, and I wanted to maybe interact with him, but I didn't know how much farther we were going, and so I was
I
like,
think
he deserves a chance to explode his dice.
You
Damn it!
you said roll any dice, not in any relation to his character sheet. So mine, which one? Can we just talk about how well that roll went?
That
I
I
got-
mean, my roll went one of my dice did pretty well too. Having
Yeah.
a 67.
I got a 30 on the 32 and a 971 on the D980.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could theoretically explode that without dying.
Thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next time.
And I'd be tempted to. That would get you to the D1000 probably.
That being said,